Now I invite General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, President of China, and Chairman of the Central Military Commission, Comrade Xi Jinping, to deliver an important address. Comrades and friends, in the past 8 months and more, our party has united and led Chinese people of all ethnic groups in a heroic struggle against COVID-19. We have passed an extraordinary and historical test, and we have made enormous efforts. We have achieved a major strategic outcome in beating the COVID-19, and we have created a remarkable feat in the history of mankind's struggle against diseases. Today, we are holding the solemn National COVID-19 Response, Honors and Awards Conference to present medals to the outstanding individuals, the Medal of the People's Republic and the medals of the national honorary titles, to recognize the exemplary individuals and entities, to promote the great spirit shown throughout our struggle against COVID-19, and to continue to work tirelessly to fully establish a moderately prosperous society and winning the great victory of building socialism with Chinese characteristics for the new era. Here, on behalf of the CPC Central Committee, the State Council, and the Central Military Commission, I would like to pay great tribute to the exemplary individuals and entities honored today, to all those who have made major contributions to China's COVID-19 response, including members of the medical profession, CDC workers, officers and men of the People's Liberation Army, officers and men of the People's Armed Police, scientists, community workers, public security officers, first responders, newsmen, employees of enterprises and public institutions, construction workers, officials sent to help with community response, volunteers, and the many people who have pitched in. I would like to offer a deep sense of respect to all the party and the government organizations and party members and officials in enterprises and public institutions at all levels. I would like to express our sincere gratitude to members of the democratic parties, persons without party affiliation, and members of industrial and commercial confederations, people's organizations, and people across all sectors of society who've joined the national response effort. And to our compatriots in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, and the overseas Chinese community, who've sent us their support and assistance. Throughout the Chinese people's struggle against COVID-19, many foreign leaders, government officials, political parties, social organizations, and foreign embassies in China, the relevant United Nations agencies, relevant regional organizations, and international institutions, foreign invested enterprises, and international friends of China have conveyed to the Chinese people their best wishes and provided valuable support in various ways. On behalf of the Chinese government and people, I would like to say a big thank you to them all. Even as we meet, the virus is still spreading around the world. The Chinese people feel keenly the pain being suffered by people in other nations. We deeply mourn the loss of precious lives taken by the virus. We pay great respects to those people who are racing against time to beat the virus and save lives. And we give our best wishes to those who have been infected with coronavirus but are receiving medical treatment. At this particular moment, I want to make a point of mourning the loss of the heroes who've given their lives in fighting the virus, and to our fellow countrymen and women who have succumbed to the virus. Our thoughts are forever with them. Comrades and friends, COVID-19 is the most serious pandemic the world has seen in 100 years. It is the fastest spreading, most infectious, and the hardest to control public health emergency that we have encountered since 1949. The ferocious coronavirus took all of us by surprise and put people's lives and health in serious jeopardy. We put the people first and saving lives foremost. We acted with resolution, courage, and determination. We raced against time to wage an all-out people's war to stem the spread of the coronavirus. In a little over 1 month's time, we basically stopped the spread of the virus in China. In around 2 months' time, we reduced new daily cases to single digits. In around 3 months' time, we won a decisive outcome in safeguarding Wuhan and Hubei. Then, we stamped out local outbreaks in various parts of the country, thus clinching a major strategic outcome in the nationwide battle against COVID-19. On that basis, we balanced COVID-19 response with economic and social development. We made up for lost time in resuming the order of production and life, and this has produced a notable result. China's character, strengths, and sense of responsibility have been shown throughout this struggle. In the face of the unexpected COVID-19 situation, the CPC Central Committee focused on the big picture, took decisive decisions, and adopted extraordinary steps to respond to an extraordinary emergency. The Party Central Committee put the health and lives of our people first and demonstrated collective, unified leadership. In the first instance, the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and its Standing Committee have convened 21 meetings to study the situation and mobilized all sectors of Chinese society and all localities across the country in a nationwide battle. We worked with confidence and unity and in a science-based and targeted way. We set out the goal of resolutely stopping the outbreak and resolutely winning the battle against COVID-19. We made well-thought-out arrangements for safeguarding Wuhan and Hubei. We implemented major strategies in light of the evolving situation. We set up a central leadership group, sent a central command group to Hubei, and established an interagency task force under the State Council. We emphasized early detection, early reporting, early quarantine, and early treatment. We pooled resources, experts, and facilities to treat severe cases. We made great efforts to increase the admission rate and the cure rate and reduce the infection rate and the fatality rate. We did everything we could to treat infected individuals, leaving no stones unturned and leaving no one behind. We drew on a combination of Chinese and Western medicine, and the state bore all the expenses associated with treating the patients, so that we were able to improve the cure rate and reduce the fatality rate to the fullest extent. We focused on research and development in conjunction with clinical treatment and prevention and control protocols. We developed a testing kit at the earliest opportunity. We accelerated the research and development on effective medicines and vaccines, thus making sure that science and technology play an important role in underpinning and enabling our nationwide response. We rapidly put in place a nationwide information sharing mechanism and released relevant information in a factual and transparent way. Throughout all these months, we constantly think about the safety and the health of overseas Chinese communities, and we did everything we could to protect them, and we sent health kits to overseas Chinese communities, and we helped those Chinese nationals in need to return to China in an orderly fashion. In light of the evolving situation, we adjusted the focus of our efforts to preventing importation of cases and resurgence of domestic cases. We shifted emergency response to the new normal of regular control so that we could detect cases and handle them promptly and control outbreaks in a calibrated fashion and treat cases in an effective way. CPC organizations and governments at all levels and government departments and agencies across the country responded to the call of duty. Villages, communities, enterprises, health institutions, research institutes, schools, universities, and military barracks all played their due role. Under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, the whole nation took unified orders, made all-round arrangements, and adopted multi-pronged measures. We were able to effectively prevent the large-scale outbreak and blunted the trajectory of the virus to the largest extent possible. We protected our people's lives and health. In the face of the unexpected outbreak, the Chinese people shared will and woe and united as one. We built a strong defense against the coronavirus. Wuhan and Hubei were the main battlefields in stopping the outbreak. A nationwide victory hinges on the effort in Hubei, and Hubei's efforts, in turn, hinges on effective response in Wuhan. People across the country rushed to the provinces and the cities' rescue. We mobilized and deployed resources from across the country. In just over 10 days' time, we built the Huoshenshan Hospital and the Leishanshan Hospital from scratch. We converted 16 facilities into cabin hospitals. We created over 600 isolation centers. 19 provinces, regions and municipalities across China provided targeted assistance to the 16 cities and prefectures in Hubei other than Wuhan. The best experts, resources, and equipment were rushed and deployed to the province and the city, and in the shortest time possible, we overcame the short supply of medical resources and other supplies and achieved a balance in supplying these critical provisions. People across all sectors of life stepped up to the plate. State-owned enterprises and public hospitals shouldered their responsibilities. Over 4.6 million primary-level party organizations helped with the effort, and over 4 million community workers across 650,000 urban and rural communities patrolled day and night. Private businesses and hospitals, charities, nursing homes, and welfare facilities also pitched in. A great many party members and officials set examples. PLA and People's Armed Police and Public Security officers and men stood in the front line of the battle. Scientists poured their wisdom. Millions of express delivery persons crisscrossed the country. Over 1.8 million urban cleaners worked from dawn to dusk. Newsmen visited communities, and hundreds of thousands of volunteers and ordinary Chinese were quiet heroes in this nationwide effort. The entire nation cheered and rooted for Wuhan. And people said to the residents in Wuhan that the whole nation will wait for you to recover from the epidemic, and we will meet each other again when there is cherry blossom in spring. The infected individuals in Wuhan were boosted by such words of encouragement. They say, "Thank you for not giving us up, and after I recover, I will donate blood." And all across China, people had confidence that Wuhan will definitely prevail, Hubei will definitely prevail, and that China will definitely prevail. The people of Wuhan and of Hubei understood the big picture and the stakes involved. They braved risks of infection and fought in an indomitable spirit. They subjected themselves to the overall imperatives of fighting the outbreak, and they made major sacrifices and contributions to stopping the virus and to the nationwide victory in fighting COVID-19. In the face of the unexpected outbreak, medical workers all across China, like soldiers fighting a ferocious enemy, braved risks and saved lives. Millions of medical professionals across China fought in the forefront of the battle. They brought light to us in moments of darkness, and what they did moved a whole nation. 540,000 medical workers in Hubei, including in Wuhan, fought in close encounters with the virus. 346 national-level medical teams, made up of over 40,000 medical workers, rushed to Hubei and Wuhan. On the eve of the Chinese New Year, when they were supposed to get together with their family members, medics in the People's Army, bearing in mind the mission of the People's Liberation Army, they responded to the call of duty, they rushed to the scene, and they put themselves into the struggle and won it. The medical workers in China, with their devotion to the people and respect for life, worked around the clock, day and night, even though they were reaching limits, both physically and mentally. We still remember the marks left by tight masks on their faces, and the fact that sweat blanched their hands. We will never forget that some of them gave their lives in the line of duty. With their flesh and blood, the medical workers in China built a great wall of iron and steel that stood in front of the virus, and they saved one precious life after another. In so doing, they've shown us their humanitarianism and boundless love. The medical workers in China have a great sense of responsibility. Comrade Zhang Dingyu, who suffers from ALS, said that I must race against time in order to save more lives. At the same time, the medical workers in China have shown great humility. Comrade Zhong Nanshan has said, "Actually, I'm just a doctor who helps my patients." But the people see them as a comforting presence and trust their lives to them. The medical workers in China are angels in every sense of the word, and they are our dearest in this day and age. Their names and contribution will never be forgotten by the country, by the people, and by history, and their names will always be recorded in the annals of the People's Republic. In the face of the unexpected outbreak, we balanced different imperatives and made coordinated progress on all fronts. We were able to stabilize and improve the economic situation and steadily restore the order of production and life. We kept a close eye on the evolving situation, and we focused on the big picture. We made timely, major decisions to balance COVID-19 response and economic and social development. We acted in line with law and science, and we implemented locality-specific and risk-based strategies to resume life and work, and we provided for the people's lives and livelihoods. We strengthened macroeconomic policy response and ensured stability in 6 key respects, and completed and worked hard to complete the 6 priority tasks. We adopted policies to provide relief and benefits to struggling businesses, and we adopted steps to strengthen employment, investment, and consumption, and to stabilize external trade, inbound investment, and industrial and supply chains. We encouraged the growth of new business models and worked for the orderly return to normal of transportation, catering, markets, and the cultural and tourism sector. We implemented a package of policy measures to support Hubei's development, and we are resuming school terms and classes in a staggered fashion. We will push forward poverty eradication with even greater determination and intensity of efforts. We will support the revitalization of poverty eradication industries. We will help poor workers find jobs, and we will work hard to prevent a lapse or relapse into poverty because of the outbreak. China has become the first major economy to restore economic growth emerging from the outbreak, and we are leading the world in both COVID-19 response and economic restoration. It shows the great resilience and vitality of China. In the face of the unexpected and serious outbreak, China worked with countries around the world to tide over this difficult time and contributed China's wisdom and resources to the global fight against COVID-19. We acted in an open, transparent, and responsible fashion and actively fulfilled our international obligations. We reported the outbreak to the World Health Organization and the relevant countries and regional organizations at the earliest opportunity. We shared with the world the sequencing of the virus right away, and we shared China's diagnostic and therapeutic protocols with the world. We organized over 70 sessions with experts from other countries and international and regional organizations. We've created an online knowledge center which is accessible by all countries, and we have shared prevention and control experiences without reservation with others.
Despite the many difficulties in domestic COVID-19 control, China has done its best to provide assistance to the international community. China has pledged a total of $50 million cash assistance to WHO. China has sent 34 medical expert teams to 32 countries and 283 shipments of medical supplies to 150 countries and 4 international organizations. China has provided and exported anti-epidemic materials to over 200 countries and regions. From the 15th of March to 6th of September, China has exported a total of 151.5 billion face masks, 1.4 billion protective gowns, 230 million protective goggles, 209,000 ventilators, 470 million testing kits, and 80.14 million thermometers. We have given strong support to global response to COVID-19. China has advocated the joint efforts to build a global community of health for all. And China has put forward proposals relating to international assistance and vaccine development. With concrete efforts, China has helped to save tens of millions of lives around the world. With concrete efforts, China has shown its genuine commitment to building a community with a shared future for mankind. Comrades, friends, the younger people represent the future of a country and a nation. In this battle against the COVID-19, we've been heartened and moved by our younger generations. Nearly half of the medical professionals fighting on the front line were born in the 1990s or even in the first decade of this century. One thing they have said has moved the whole nation. They said to their elders that in 2013, when SARS hit, you protected us, and today it is our turn to protect you. And their elders replied, if there are angels, then they are those kids putting on doctors' white gowns. The world has no heroes parachuting from the sky. What it has are ordinary people doing extraordinary things. The younger generations, fearing no hardships and sacrifices, have shouldered heavy responsibilities. Their courage has inspired us. They have shown us a great future of the Chinese nation. They deserve our praise and our warm applause. Comrades, friends, the major strategic gains we have accomplished in the battle against the COVID-19 have testified to the great strength of the CPC leadership and our country's socialist system, fully testified to the great strength and resilience of the Chinese people and the Chinese nation, fully testified to the profundity of the Chinese civilization. They have fully demonstrated the strong sense of mission of China as a major responsible country. They have greatly strengthened the confidence, pride, unity, and solidarity of the whole party and all ethnic groups of the nation. They will inspire us to overcome all obstacles and forge ahead in our new journey in a new era. Comrades, friends, in this fierce battle against COVID-19, the Chinese people and Chinese nation have shown the heroic courage to fight and to win. Together, we have forged the great spirit of putting lives above everything else, coming together as one, risking one's own life to help others, respect for science, and looking out for each other. Putting lives first has exemplified the tradition of kindness of the Chinese people and the people-centered approach of the Communist Party of China. Kindness to others means loving others and helping others. Virus is ruthless, but people have compassion and feel for each other. Lives are most precious. People live only once. A life lost can never return. When people's lives are at stake, we can and we must protect them at all costs. The guiding mission of the Communist Party of China is to serve the people with all our heart. And our country is a socialist country where the people are the masters of their lives. We made the decisive move to suspend outbound travels from Wuhan and Hubei and put in place unprecedented, rigorous quarantine measures. The decision took enormous political courage and resolve. But to safeguard people's life and safety, we are ready to make any sacrifice. From newborn babies, only 30 hours old, to centenarians, from international students in China to expatriates. Every life has been protected, valued, and respected. This is at the heart of the people-centered approach of the Communist Party of China. This is deeply rooted in the morality of the Chinese nation. And this illustrates the Chinese people's reverence for lives. National solidarity has unlocked the great strength of the Chinese people, united as one in a testing time. Faced with a dangerous virus, and despite the physical and mental discomfort caused by several months of quarantine, our people have shown no fear, but the tenacity to rise to the moment. Some were fighting on the front line, others standing fast at their own post. In their own ways, they have all pitched in the response efforts. Across our country, the Chinese people have worked as one for each other's well-being, for the honor of the communities, and for the safety of our nation. Doctors and nurses, service personnel, rescue workers, volunteers have all joined the battle. The CPC members took charge on the front. The frontline responders worked around the clock. The 1.4 billion Chinese stood shoulder to shoulder, side by side. Together, we have sent one message: unity is strength. Risking one's life to help others has exemplified the tenacity of the Chinese people to prevail over all difficulties and to never yield to any obstacle. At the critical moment when COVID-19 struck, heroes emerged nationwide. People fighting the virus on various fronts put themselves in harm's way and risked their own lives to save others and meet their responsibilities of COVID-19 response. A hospital principal who saved many of his patients but lost the chance to save himself. A young man who would never fulfill his wedding promise to his fiancée. A mother, but also a medical worker who made ultimate sacrifice on line of duty and would never return for her young kids. Faced with a ferocious disease, the Chinese people did not flinch. Instead, we have met the tough challenges head-on, writing another inspiring and heroic chapter in our history. The Chinese nation has gone through trials and tribulations, but is always able to emerge with greater resilience. It is never because of any favor. It is because our tens of thousands of ordinary Chinese stepping forward and forging ahead against all odds. Respecting science has exemplified the character of the Chinese people to seek truth and explore new frontiers of knowledge. Faced with an unknown infectious disease, we kept to a science-based approach. We have used the laws of science to inform all aspects of decision-making, treatment, research breakthroughs, and social governance. In the absence of proven and effective medicines, we harnessed both traditional Chinese medicine and Western medicines. We have developed 8 editions of therapeutic solutions, and the Chinese and Western medicines and therapeutics we have proven effective have been adopted by a number of countries. Mobile hospitals were built in just a few days' time. Multiple techniques were deployed for vaccine research. Nucleic acid testing has been given at a vast scale. Big data has been used for tracing and health code recognition. And we also adopted tiered and region-specific strategy for COVID response, restored economic activities steadily and safely. All these reflect our people's reverence for science and put our COVID response on a strong scientific basis. Looking out for each other has exemplified the values of the Chinese people to unite in difficult times and our love for peace. A noble cause enjoys broad support. Great love knows no borders. Guided by our vision that the world belongs to the one same family, China is fulfilling its responsibility for the life and health of its own people and for global public health. We launched the most intensive and broadest covering emergency humanitarian action since the founding of the People's Republic. We have contributed to global COVID-19 response on a constant basis. We have fully displayed the image of a major country that values good faith and friendship, promotes justice and the greater good. We have shown our pursuit of common interests and our commitment to building a community with a shared future for mankind. For individuals, inner strength is important. So is for nations. Only with inner strength can a nation stand firm and steadfast in the tide of history. To overcome difficulties requires material strength, but also tenacity and perseverance. Our great spirit that we have forged in this battle against the COVID-19 is deeply rooted in the national character of the Chinese nation and our cultural DNA. It is the continuity and development of patriotism, the commitment to common good, and the socialist values. It embodies the Chinese spirit and adds new dimensions to our national character. We must promote this great spirit across the society and turn it into a strong morale that drives us forward in building a modern socialist country and toward the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Comrades, friends, as an ancient Chinese adage goes, that to know if the taste of something, you need to try it. And to know if a road is bumpy, you need to walk on it. In this heroic battle against the COVID-19, we have accumulated important experiences and we have drawn profound inspirations. This heroic struggle against the COVID-19 has proved once again the strength and resilience of the Communist Party of China. The party is the most reliable mainstay for the Chinese people in difficult hours. The CPC has its foundation and its roots in the people. We do everything for our people and by relying on our people. That is why we have received wholehearted support and firm support from our people. And this is the broadest and most profound basis for the party to lead the country. From the beginning of this fight against the COVID-19, the CPC Central Committee has rallied all party members to let the party flag fly high on the front line of the battle. It fully shows the devotion and sense of mission of CPC members. In fighting against COVID-19, the CPC members have kept to their founding missions and fully played an exemplary role. Over 25,000 applicants became full party members on the front line of the battle against the coronavirus. It is the CPC's leadership and the support of the Chinese people for the party that has enabled China to accomplish the miracles of fast economic growth and enduring social stability, and enabled us to defeat floods, SARS, earthquakes, and crises and challenges, and has enabled us to win this battle against COVID-19. In the past, at present, we know that when we unswervingly uphold the party's strong leadership, keep on strengthening the party's ability to lead politically, guide through theory, organize the people, and inspire society, keep the close ties between the party and the people, we will be able to forge strong synergy and prevail over complexities, risks, and challenges of all kinds.
The heroic battle against COVID-19 proves once again that the unyielding will of the Chinese people is the source of strength for defeating all challenges and obstacles on our way forward. The tribulations that put the Chinese people to the test have also made us stronger. It is thanks to the unbreakable will and resolve of the Chinese people to fight against all odds that we have been able to stand and struggle against the invading foreign powers, make sacrifices for the country when it was torn apart by war, strive for development while the nation was mired in poverty, and keep abreast with the times in an ever-evolving world. This is why the Chinese nation could stand proud among the world's nations. Over the centuries, the Chinese people have been famous for a strong vitality, profound unity, great resilience, and enormous creativity. And we are all proud to be Chinese. Both history and reality show that when we depend on and work heart and soul for the people and bring out the unyielding will of the people, we will see the overwhelming majority of the people stand together in great unity and create new glories for the Chinese nation. The heroic battle against COVID-19 proves once again that the significant advantages of the socialist system with Chinese characteristics are the fundamental guarantee for fending off risks and challenges and enhancing governance efficacy. An important standard for measuring the quality and success of a country's system is whether the country could rally and organize the whole society to overcome major risks and challenges together. With China's socialist system, we have extraordinary capacity to mobilize, coordinate, and enforce. And we can pull the strength of all to get the major, difficult, and urgent things done. Our fight against COVID-19 epitomizes such advantages of China's national and governance systems. Both history and reality tell us that by sustaining and improving the socialist system, with Chinese characteristics, modernizing our governance system and capacity, and utilizing the strength of our system in the face of risks and challenges, we will be able to withstand one test after another, turn crises into opportunities, and emerge stronger time and again. The heroic battle against COVID-19 proves once again that the solid national strength accumulated since the founding of New China is the profound underpinning for navigating waves and storms with calm. Over the decades, China has established a substantial material foundation, a complete industrial system, a strong technological capacity, and a rich reserve of medical resources. Together, they provide a robust underpinning for our response to COVID-19. After the outbreak, we swiftly mobilized personnel, material supplies, technological research, and transportation from across the country to battle the virus. At the height of the situation, the pause button was pressed in many aspects of China's economic and social development. But people's life was not dramatically disrupted, and society carried on in general. This is fundamentally attributable to the comprehensive national strength that China has accumulated since the founding of the People's Republic, especially since reform and opening up. It is attributable to China's ability to fully utilize that strength in the face of danger. Both history and reality tell us that if we unleash social productivity, continue to strengthen economic, technological, and comprehensive capacities, deliver more benefits, greater happiness, and a stronger sense of security to the people, and enrich the material foundation for upholding and developing socialism with Chinese characteristics and the great renewal of the Chinese nation, we will be able to ensure steady and sustained development of socialism with Chinese characteristics despite the challenges along the way. The heroic battle against the COVID-19 proves once again that the cultural strength of the core socialist values and the fine traditions of the Chinese culture is a powerful force that pulls together the hearts and hands of the Chinese people. Cultural confidence represents the most fundamental and profound force that sustains the development of a country and a nation. A culture of self-improvement and self-discipline serves as the crucial bond for a country and nation to pursue a shared future. The Chinese nation is a patriotic nation. The Chinese people value the common good above one's own interests. We believe every Chinese has a responsibility for the nation's future. We advocate partnership and solidarity in times of difficulty and looking out for each other, especially the elderly and underaged. We believe in the unification of freedom and self-discipline and of rights and responsibilities. In the fight against COVID-19, the 1.4 billion Chinese people have displayed a great spirit of responsibility, self-discipline, sacrifice, and friendship, and forged a powerful defense with unity and solidarity. Both history and reality show us that by nurturing and practicing core socialist values, and carrying forward the fine traditions of the Chinese culture, we will be able to culturally inspire the Chinese people of all ethnic groups and consolidate the cultural foundation for the Chinese nation to forge ahead in unity. The heroic battle against COVID-19 proves once again that the common pursuit of building a community with a shared future for mankind is the right way for tackling humanity's common challenges and building a more prosperous and beautiful world. In a way, the onslaught of COVID-19 is a reminder to the world that humanity is a community with entwined shared future. In the face of major crises, no country can go it alone. While solidarity and cooperation is the only way forward. Those seeking selfish gains, scapegoating others, and twisting facts will hurt not only their own country and people, but also the people around the world. Both history and reality show us that when the international community comes together in the spirit of community with a shared future, uphold multilateralism and solidarity and cooperation, the people of the global community will be able to overcome all kinds of global issues and build a shared, beautiful home on our planet. Comrades, friends, the profound, once-in-a-century changes in our world are accelerating, and the task to deliver reform, development, and stability at home is arduous. We are about to complete the first centenary goal and strive for achieving the second. And we must fully implement the basic theories, path, and guidelines of the party. Stick to the general principle of seeking progress while maintaining stability, and stay committed to the new development philosophy. We must foster a new development landscape, properly consider both the domestic and international situations in our work, ensure both development and security, and modernize our governance system and capacity in order to make continued progress in the undertakings of our party and country. To that end, we will allow no relent in regularized epidemic response and strive for the full victory against COVID-19. The virus continues to rage globally, and the risks of sporadic cases and local clusters at home remain. A full victory against this disease requires continued efforts. We must continue to be cautious, work hard to prevent case importation and domestic rebound, and properly adopt normalized, calibrated measures and local emergency responses. We can never allow the hard-won progress to be wasted. We need to step up research and development of medicine and drugs, medicine and vaccines, carry on with the patriotic health campaign, build better public health facilities, and raise health awareness among the whole society. Only with all the individuals, families, and communities playing their part can we have a solid defense against the virus. We will ensure stable employment, finance, foreign trade, foreign investment, domestic investment expectations, safeguard job security, basic living needs, operations of market entities, food and energy security, stable industrial and supply chains, and normal functioning of primary level governments. Secure the victory of building a moderately prosperous society in all respects, and strive to eliminate absolute poverty. We will strengthen our confidence, redouble our efforts to make up for the time lost and remedy the losses to COVID-19. We will establish medium and long-term mechanisms to coordinate the epidemic responses and economic and social development. We will continue to focus on supply-side structural reform, deepen reform and opening up, and resolutely expand domestic demand, which should serve as a strategic base. We will protect and reinvigorate market entities, ensure full delivery of macro policies, and enhance the stability and competitiveness of industrial and supply chains. We will single out the prominent issues and weak links in our drive to eliminate absolute poverty and tackle them with our best resources. We will always think for the safety and well-being of the people, help resolve the people's real issues such as employment, income, schooling, social security, medical insurance, and housing, and take solid steps to protect and improve livelihoods. We will shore up the weak links in the governance system more quickly and strengthen the institutions for protecting the people's health and safety. The fight against the COVID-19 is a comprehensive test for our governance system and capacity. We must seize the opportunity to shore up the weak links and plug the loopholes, expedite the improvement of the relevant mechanisms and institutions, focus on improving the preparedness and response for major public health emergencies. We need to build a powerful public health system, improve our disease prevention and control system, and establish a major system of epidemic response and treatment that serves both before and during an epidemic. We need to strengthen the legal safeguard and scientific underpinning for public health, upgrade our capacity of emergency supplies reserve, and consolidate the society-wide collective epidemic response. We need to improve the urban management system and urban and rural community system, raise the awareness of full-cycle health management in cities, and improve the overall efficacy of social governance. We will pay great attention to biosafety risks and upgrade our country's biosafety defense capabilities. We will uphold the vision for a community with a shared future for mankind and work with the international community to tackle the increasingly daunting global challenges. China will continue to advance international cooperation against COVID-19, support the World Health Organization in playing a leading role in the global response, and share containment and treatment experience with other countries. We will continue to provide help to vulnerable countries and regions, leverage our role as the world's largest supplier of anti-epidemic materials, and advance the building of a community of health for all. We will expand mutually beneficial cooperation with countries around the world, continue to advance economic globalization, firmly uphold the multilateral trading system, and maintain the safe and smooth operation of global industry and supply chains to bring back a prosperous world economy at an early date. We are prepared to work with other countries to make global governance more inclusive, multilateral mechanisms more effective, and regional cooperation more active. We will jointly address regional disputes and global issues such as terrorism, climate change, cybersecurity, and biosafety to create an even brighter future for humanity. We will hold on to our bottom lines, stay vigilant against potential danger, and effectively prevent and resolve various risks on our way forward. Rainbows appear after rain, and opportunities are behind challenges. Such are the laws of the dialectic that are also true for the past century of the CPC history, for the last 7 decades of the People's Republic, and the 40-plus years of reform and opening up. None of them have been a smooth sail. Those who do not crave the easy way out will succeed, and those that take challenges head-on will make progress. We will adopt the dialectic methods in understanding the domestic and international situations and institute strategic, systematic, and forward thinking in the study and planning. We must be prepared in thinking and action for a relatively long period of changes in the external environment and do a good job in creating new opportunities amid crises and opening up new prospects in the changing landscape. To overcome the challenges, we must be brave in mind and adept in skills. We must adapt our tactics to the evolving situation, unite all who can be united, and mobilize all enabling factors to secure victories in the many great undertakings that bear the mark of our time. Comrades, friends, our ancestors taught us that just as the heaven maintains vigor through movement, a gentleman should constantly strive for self-perfection. A nation is great only if it never gives up, never backs off, and never ceases moving before any challenge or risk, and always fight for its own future. In the 5,000 years of history, the Chinese people and nation have come through tribulations and glories. We will now forge ahead and continue this extraordinary journey in a new era. No individual or forces will be able to stop the Chinese people from marching toward a better life. Let us be united even closer in the heroic spirit displayed in fighting COVID-19, and act as one to complete the building of a moderately prosperous society in all respects and eliminate absolute poverty. Let us write a new historic chapter in the new journey toward a modern socialist country in all respects.